the early 2000s, an idea sparked that would soon transform the landscape of mathematics in South Africa. Professor Johann Engelbrecht, a visionary with a deep passion for mathematics and mathematics education, dreamt of an institution that could unite all mathematics-related activities across the country. With unwavering dedication, he reached out to various stakeholders, and the response was overwhelmingly positive. The South African Mathematical Society and the Association for Mathematics Education of South Africa immediately backed his vision, recognizing the potential to strengthen and uplift mathematics on a national scale.
We were thinking of beginning with a body that could unite mathematics activities in the country. Started speaking with Chris Brink, and then this led to further conversations. I talked to the people from AMISA, the Teachers Society, Mathematics Teachers Society, and SAMF, South African Mathematical Society, which is more for university mathematicians, the professional mathematicians. So I talked to their managements, and there was general support. I talked to Professor Mamokgethi Pakeng from AMISA, and I think the president of the South African Mathematical Society at that stage was Professor Nigel Bishop. So I got support from everybody that I talked to, and then we went and had a conversation with the Department of Basic Education. The person there was Mr. Lebson Pahlele. These days he's Dr. Lebson Pahlele, and he was very supportive. I think I went with Mr. Vishnu Naidu, who at that stage I think was Vice President of AMISA. And we had a conversation with Lebs at DBE. And so the only thing that we needed was money. Through my involvement with the South African Mathematics Olympiad, I met people like Eli Willifeer. We realized that we have to have a more neutral body that organizes the Olympiad. And we had talks with other societies. Everybody supported this idea, and then we started with the Mathematics Foundation.
And so, in 2004, the South African Mathematics Foundation was born, an organization dedicated to unifying and championing mathematics activities throughout the country. Its very first initiative was to manage the prestigious South African Mathematics Olympiad, which has been inspiring young minds since 1966 and would now continue to do so through the foundation and its network of experts who generously volunteer their time and expertise.
We started with the South African Mathematics Olympiad as our main project. It was an existing structure, and we got people like Eli Willifeer, who was involved in the Mathematics Olympiad, and she's been with the South African Mathematics Foundation since its beginnings.
South African Mathematics Olympiad is the most prestigious Olympiad in South Africa, with almost 100,000 learners participating annually. And that's from about 1,300 high schools. It consists of 3 rounds, with the first round being written at the schools or online, and then being marked by the teacher or by the computer system. And those learners who achieve 50% or higher then qualify for the second round. And then after the second round, we take the top 100 or top 200, 100 juniors and 100 seniors to compete in the third round.
So much of our system of education is built on mediocrity. It's built on just getting by. It's built on a 30 and 40% pass in mathematics or mathematical literacy. And it doesn't really give the same amount of attention to excellence, to outstanding achievement. SAMF for me represents an example of what can be if we take education very seriously, and in this case, take mathematics very seriously.
I think back of communicating with youngsters and seeing the excitement in their eyes when they can solve a mathematics Olympiad problem. That is something that I feel good about.
And that excitement is what continues to inspire young minds across the country today. From all corners of South Africa, learners come together with a shared passion for mathematics. Let's hear from some of these bright young individuals as they share their experience of tackling Olympiad challenges and the joy of finding solutions.
Mathematics is quite important, in my opinion, in terms of all careers. My dad wants me to be an actuary. I'm not so sure about that, but in terms of what I'm more interested in, being engineering, mathematics has a big part in that as well. So I just want to do the best I can in my maths and keep all career opportunities open.
I definitely found it struggling. However, the questions that I did answer, I quite enjoyed. The ones that I didn't, I found challenging, but I hope that next year and following years I can continue to improve my mathematical skills and continue progressing through the Olympiad and hopefully make it somewhere closer to the top. I, for starters, went through quite a few past papers at home and went through some online resources that I managed to find. However, I also got a lot of help from my maths teacher.
I think I've always had a love for maths, especially my teachers back in primary school cultivated a really deep appreciation for mathematics in general in me from a very young age. So it's always been something that I wanted to do and wanted to participate in.
I'm good at maths, and it's my favorite subject in school. And my maths teacher and my AP maths teacher told me a lot, and they think I can get a good mark in Maths Olympiad.
It's not about learning really advanced math. It's about learning the type of math which you just have your teachers teach you and applying them in very special ways to answer complicated questions.
It's fun to solve the questions and problems.
If you were to give advice to any other learner who wants to take part in the Mathematics Olympiad, what would that be?
Just try what you can think of. Maybe it will work. Try to find an easy solution, but if you can't, just try everything that you know. I love maths!
In the last 20 years, the Foundation has developed many resources. One of them is the recently published book, 1000 Mathematics Olympiad Problems, written by Professor Pubulan Pillay. The book is based on more than 8,000 hours in research and development since 2014 and is a complete problem-solving guide to help learners from grade 7 to 12 improve their mathematics skills.
It is a collection of mathematics problems of Olympiad standards. Olympiad standards means it's a standard higher than the usual school mathematics that is given at schools. The book itself is divided into 3 sections. The first section contains the problems. There are 1000 problems altogether in the book, and the middle section is devoted to a number of lessons which help learners to solve these problems. Hints for each problem are given, and then each problem has got a little number associated with it, and by clicking onto that number you can get into the relevant lesson, so the learner can learn the lesson and come back to solve the problem. There's a lot of emphasis given to these lessons. There are 250 pages of them in the book, 11 lessons and 7 appendices. And finally, the solutions are given at the back of the book, at the end of the book, which makes it a rather bulky book. It's actually 636 pages long.
In 2011, the foundation took over the administration of the annual South African Mathematics Challenge, which was founded in 1977 by Mona Leuvenberg.
This is a competition for primary school learners from grade 4 to grade 7, and it is there to firstly expose learners to problem-solving techniques and to try and identify talented learners. It comprises of 3 levels or 3 rounds. It does have the first round, that is round 1. Learners will be writing at their own schools, and some of the learners will be writing online. After round 1, those who have obtained 50% and above will qualify to continue to round 2. Round 2 will be written at your schools, but the schools will send in the answer sheet to SAMF, and they're going to be marked here at South African Maths Foundation. After round 2 has been written, the top 400 learners, approximately 400 learners, that is about 100 learners from each grade, will be identified according to performance.
In 2014, the foundation hosted the International Mathematical Olympiad for the first time on African soil at the University of Cape Town.
Well, it's been a grueling few weeks for hundreds of contestants who took part in the International Mathematics Olympiad in the past few weeks. So just in layman's terms, how the competition works and how people are judged and how it's marked and what points are given and all that.
No, this was the first time that this took place on African soil, so we were honored to be granted the opportunity of hosting this event, and this in itself is a compliment for the country, because the International Mathematics Olympiad Advisory Board looks at the mathematical abilities in a country before they decide that a country can host such an event. So we consider it an honor to have been chosen as host for this event. The competition runs over 2 papers. Those were written last Tuesday and Wednesday, consisting of 3 problems each. Now, let me be quite frank with you, these problems are tough.
They're not problems.
No, they are really tough. Okay. The leaders of all the countries formed the jury, and they got together a week before, and I sat on that jury and we set the papers. So it's a group of about 150 of the best mathematicians that got together to set these papers, and that was a great experience. So in the end, the students write these 2 papers. They get 4.5 hours per paper, so that means 90 minutes per question. The total is 42. That's an interesting total. Each question contributes 7 marks. I can tell you those problems are such that matured mathematicians struggle with them. They are really hard problems. Another big event was the PME conference that we organized in 2019, where more than 400 delegates from all over the world came together here in Pretoria, and it was organized by the Mathematics Foundation.
From the South African Mathematics Olympiad's rigorous challenges to the South African Mathematics Challenge's transformative impact, and to the South African Tertiary Mathematics Olympiad, the foundation helps shaping future mathematicians and leaders.
SAMF has a learner development project known as Siankoba, and I know I say the click wrong, but it's to take learners that are showing an aptitude in mathematics, that have done well in the competitions in some of the earlier rounds, where university mathematics educators now work with these learners and actually help them how to strategically approach problem-solving skills. And it has value in the sense that it's beyond the curriculum, so it's really just how to tackle a problem. And it's a life skill that goes beyond just the mathematics that they're learning at school. And the big highlight was that this Kaugelu, the young lad from Soweto who was trained at the Wits Siankoba Center that I helped to start, was the first African learner to ever win a medal at the International Mathematics Olympiad.
For this maths enthusiast, the world of numbers and equations is his playground. Khawagelo Bopape began competing in maths quizzes from a young age, and all that culminated in him winning at a global level this year.
The same has been interested in mathematics from the young age. When he was in lower primary school, he had trophies and all that, until he went to secondary school, to high school, where he started with the Olympiad. So we've been seeing this kind of thing all his life.
I did the Horizon Math competition when I was in grade 6. And then because of that, I went to Horizon High School. The school really encouraged me to participate in these competitions. Like they held training classes every Friday when I was in grade 8, like throughout the whole year. And because of that, I did like maths very frequently. I learned a lot of stuff throughout that whole year. And that helped me kind of sort of get used to the thinking strategy of the problems. And that's how I managed to get better really fast. I went to the Pan-African Math Olympiad 3 times, where I got 2 gold medals in 2018 and 2019. And this year and last year, I went to the International Mathematical Olympiad. And last year, it was in Bath, in the UK. I got an honorable mention. This year, it was supposed to be in St. Petersburg, Russia. But it was postponed because of COVID, and it was held in Cape Town, where I got a bronze medal.
A win for the school and his family.
Koelo is a very bright and hardworking kid. His talent and his attitude, his habits resulted in this tremendous achievement. And we are very proud of him. And we want to share this pride and joy with the whole country.
Also very proud of him, and we thank the school and the teachers that were also supportive in the whole process.
The Soweto-born matriculant is passionate about advancing maths and science for especially disadvantaged pupils.
In order to have that kind of technological improvement, students need to get better at maths and maybe also programming itself. And also, I want to put an emphasis on Black African students also progressing in this regard, because mostly in these sorts of competitions in maths and programming, only it happens that white and Asian students happen to perform a lot better because they may have access to better resources and more and better teachers. And I want to encourage African students from disadvantaged communities to also reach out to the teachers.
With this win in the bag, he hopes to see where the journey with maths leads to.
Olympiad alumni include people like Mark Shuttleworth, Sandile Mbili, Alan Graham, Oliwasanya Awe, Sadiq Mula, and Kellen Kotson.
I can think back to myself starting in grade 8, having never really heard much about this, the African Maths Olympiad, but always being very keen on maths. I think throughout my entire academic journey, that's always been my passion, mathematics and any mathematical related field. So when I entered grade 8 and heard about the South African Maths Olympiad, obviously my eyes lit up. As I participated through the Olympiad, through grade 8, grade 9, all the way through to matric, I could almost see that progress building in myself throughout the years. Carried on participating in these Olympiads at university. My biggest piece of advice would be to never stop being curious and to never stop wanting to challenge yourself. Embrace that challenge that's in front of them, to say that, you know what, I have the ability to do this. I might not be able to do it immediately, but you'll never know if you don't try. Definitely help you perform in the Olympiads, but I think from a more broader scale, in terms of achieving and unlocking your potential in life, I think it's an invaluable skill to have.
At the South African Mathematics Foundation, we believe that effective teaching lies at the heart of successful learning. Our teacher development programs empower educators with the skills and knowledge they need to inspire the next generation of problem solvers through our dedicated problem-solving courses for primary and high school mathematics teachers.
Mathematics is an exciting subject, but it can be boring also. And the way that some people still teach mathematics is very technical. So there's very little creativity.
During COVID, we realized that the Maths Foundation had its own teacher development course for problem solving, which ran on 2 weekends, so on a Saturday, 2 consecutive Saturdays, and it had to be physical, but during COVID we realized that that wouldn't work. And we did a major revamp of that problem solving course. We expanded it. It's now a 6-week blended online course. And instead of being able to handle like 30 to 60 teachers on 2 weekends, we now can easily handle more than 300, 400 because it's online, but we have tutors that work in smaller groups with them as well. And they get really intensive assistance with how to solve problems creatively.
Let's hear from some of these teachers as they share their experiences of the Foundation's problem-solving courses.
As a teacher, our main task is also to always try and find ways to improve our learning so that we can also be better classroom managers and also be able to establish good relationship with our learners. So I managed to see this problem-solving course that was being run. So I saw it's also an opportunity for me to better myself as a teacher in line of the problem-solving activities. And I would say I really enjoyed it. And right now I can go into the classroom being confident because now I'm not just going to the class to just teach routely, but I've also gained some requisite skills that even help me to be able to explain the concept to the learners. And I'm also able to make the learners also think and also enjoy their own learning.
I enjoyed the fact that it focused on the pattern and the whys and the structure of mathematics rather than teaching children little tricks on how to get answers. Because to me, mathematics should be about understanding what you're doing and coming up with a solution rather than trying to find or memorize a method that might or might not work.
It influenced my classroom teaching in a way that I saw maths different to how I used to see it. Firstly, mathematics used to be about answers, but now it's like probing, posing questions. It's like it made me to see a whole new world of mathematics. As an educator, you are aware that people they go as you are a source. And even the information that you have is what we should share with other teachers. And by so doing, it's not only for the greater good of the schools, but even the greater community and the economy at large.
As the Foundation evolves, Professor Kirsten Jordan envisions a future of continued innovation and excellence in mathematics education, driving societal change through knowledge and empowerment.
So why is mathematics important? The mathematics is not like a subject like physics where they maybe start with the subject at school in grade 10 and then it's through university and beyond that into research. Mathematics is like English, so it's a living subject right from a child learning to start to count before they go to school, early career development, all the way up to research being done in it and new knowledge being created. We have to have from school level an upliftment, improvement in the skills in mathematics and statistics that learners develop through what they do at school, so that we get enough mathematically skilled people going into the tertiary system, studying subjects that will enable them to do careers where they need mathematics. South Africa needs more mathematically skilled people. We're trying to get all of the role players in the whole pipeline of mathematics education from primary school, where you learn to count 1 to 3, to actually creating new mathematics and statistics in a research environment, for all of that to function properly and be contributing to developing the skills of our nation. We formed a Mathematical Sciences Strategic Alliance, which is the leadership of many of the organizations working with mathematics and statistics. We need a national strategy for the mathematical sciences.
Over the past 20 years, the Foundation made significant strides to promote mathematics education and careers. Here's to the next 20 years.
I would hereby like to wish the South African Mathematics Foundation best wishes and congratulations on their 20th birthday. And I hope that the SA Math Foundation will grow exponentially and keep up the good work of promoting problem solving and developing our children and ultimately our nation to become more and more mathematically literate. That is my wish for SAMF.
Always keep the real purpose of the South African Maths Foundation in view. And that is to improve the level of mathematics in the country, especially at school level. This task is very important because it is fundamental to the growth of the country. Now, mathematics is a key component in many facets of the country's growth, and the contribution that the Maths Foundation is making towards it cannot be underestimated, because they are creating the cream of the people in this country. So in that respect, it's not just helping a particular student or a family or to improve his CV or even to give credit to the school in which he comes from or to the province, but it is a global endeavor. And I want to compliment the foundation for having achieved this milestone, this momentous event of serving the needs of this country for the last 20 years.
I would like to say congratulations to the Mathematics Foundation with your birthday. Thank you to everybody involved there, and thank you for what you are doing for mathematics teaching and mathematics problem solving in itself for so many years. And may we and the SAMF go from strength to strength, involving more teachers, involving more learners in this kind of mathematics competitions and Olympiads, so that we can get our next generation being problem solvers, innovative, creative, critical thinkers, what those skills are and what we as a people, as a country need to excel.
From humble beginnings to 2 decades of mathematics leadership, the South African Mathematics Foundation's journey is a testament to the passion, perseverance, and the power of mathematics to shape a brighter future.
I love mathematics, and mathematics is taking over the world. It's the most important subject in the world. And I would make a plea to government, to schools, and to the industry to support this foundation. If you want to invest in the future of the country, please support the Mathematics Foundation.
If your organization wants to support the foundation, if you are a teacher who wants to undergo professional development, or if you are a learner who is interested in participating in our competitions, visit www.samf.ac.za.